Hi guys and welcome to my channel. Today I decided to tackle a new puzzle brand because it has been pointed out to me many times, and obviously I had a puzzle in my collection for almost a year now, and it was just a bit of a resistance of doing the puzzle because, well, look at it. It's almost a single color puzzle. I know it's not, but it just scares me a little bit because when I bought it, I love the picture so much. I didn't really think about how difficult it's gonna be to put it together. It's a 1000-piece puzzle by Enjoy Puzzle, and the title of this one is Lady Autumn. I hope you understand why I've been avoiding this puzzle, but it's just something about it. It looks so beautiful. I think this is like the perfect puzzle to display, but it's just the assembly. I mean, we've got some dark at the bottom, we've got dark red here, we've got, you know, bright yellow. And there is textures there. I think it's gonna help to know which direction the pieces are turned. But from what I've heard, it should be really easy to assemble Enjoy puzzles because they've got really uniquely shaped prongs. Because on the last video that I put out with the Ravensburger comparison, people kept commenting under to try Enjoy puzzles. So I would assume that they've got quite specific prongs. That's why I was like, okay, maybe it's time for me to try it out because, like I said, I had it in my collection for almost a year now. I bought it last year when I went to the Worlds. So yeah, it's been quite a while and I just keep looking at it and I keep wanting to put it together because the feel of the puzzle is so good. I don't know if you've Enjoy puzzles, but like even the box has a nice feel. You need to try it to know it, but yeah, it's just different to any other puzzles that I've done so far. Sometimes it can be really difficult to know which technique to use with the puzzle because when you see the picture, it seems quite clear what you're gonna start with. But then when you have all the pieces out and you flip them over, something completely different is gonna stand out. So in that sense, it's difficult to plan what I'm gonna start with, but I have an impression that it's gonna be either the light, like sunshine, sun rays, or it's gonna go from the bottom up to do the dark sections. But definitely I think that the trees are gonna stay for the end because it's just a lot of the same thing. But you can see that there's like a slight gradient. So maybe if I focus on the background color, there's also something that you guys told me about the puzzles on puzzles puzzle. There's a lot of puzzles in that sentence. So for the puzzles on puzzles puzzle, you said that to ignore the top pieces, the color of the top pieces, but focus on the actual, like the bottom puzzle, because it can be really confusing and it's a lot harder to solve that way. So I think with this one, I think I'm gonna have to do that, just focus on the background color and completely ignore the leaves on the top. That's gonna be my strategy for this one. Oh, I finally managed to say it right. Wow. Sorry, it's just that word. Whew, it's been haunting me for at least 2 years now, since I had my YouTube channel. So anyway, I'm gonna go do the sorting now because I think I can actually do the sorting for this one. It's gonna make it a little bit easier, I hope. I don't wanna do a full flip on this one because last time I did normal sorting and it was so enjoyable to assemble a puzzle on an empty table, and I'm just like, wow, how much I missed that. So I'm definitely gonna start with the sorting for that one and then just see how it goes from there. The sorting started out quite well because it was quite easy to know the difference between the color, but then the more pieces I had on the table, the more confused I was becoming about what goes to each pile. I have to say that halfway through the sorting I realized that this puzzle will probably be a bit harder than I thought. I really like the quality of the pieces because even though the puzzle is normal thickness, it's really hard. There is no shine to the puzzle, the cut is really nice and the picture is very clear as well. So the sorting is done. I put the frame pieces together and then I've got, like I said, it's basically, I'm not gonna say rainbow sorting because obviously we've not got that many colors, but it starts off with sort of white, then goes to like light yellow, yellow, orange, and then all the way to the other side to black. Like I mentioned, there's some pieces that are textured, which helps because it lets me know that it's background pieces, but it's really just to, well, there's more than two, but two are really like significant textures. So it's completely clear one, which is like that one. So completely smooth. And then you've got this one's got like a little dots on it. So I think this is part of the dress and this is the background, like behind the trees. So I think this is gonna be really beneficial when putting the puzzle together because it kind of tells you what are the background pieces. So hopefully this will help. Another thing that I wanted to point out is, I mean, how cool is it that it comes in a Ziploc bag? I mean, come on. Every puzzle company should do that. I know they're trying to reduce plastic and I completely agree with that, but it's just, if it's plastic, that it's multiple use plastic, I don't see an issue in that. It's just when you have those bags when you open them once and then you bin them, but this is really good because, you know, it just keeps the puzzle safe. Oh, another thing that I wanted to say is puzzle dust. So I made a tiny, I don't even know what this is, but like, it's just a little bit of puzzle dust, a bit more than I would want to, because I started to feel it in on my fingers by the end of sorting. It's not too bad, it's definitely not like Ravensburger, but you know, if it was up to me, I would be puzzle dust free any day. So yeah, I don't know how much you can see it, but that's the puzzle dust from the entire puzzle, so it's not too bad. So now I'm gonna start working on the frame, because I just think it's the easiest way to start, even though it's a portrait puzzle, which is not my favorite. But it just feels that the darker pieces are gonna be easier to do first, because I don't know, but after the 3 yellow piles and after the 3 red, well, really dark, like wine red colors, then I've got 4 piles of different shades of orange, and I think this is gonna be the worst, so I kind of want to leave them for the end. So yeah, I might start from the bottom up, but the fact that the puzzle is the way it is, I don't think it really matters in which direction it stands, because, well, it's not like you've got something that has to be up, if that makes sense, because it's like, it's trees, you know. I guess I'll have to deal with that when I get there, but let's start with the frame first and then see how much I can do. I just really hope that the piece cut is gonna be so good that the puzzle is gonna be easy, because I think the best way to learn about the quality of the company, of the puzzle company, is by doing the difficult pictures, because when the picture is easy, it kind of doesn't really matter what the cut is, because it's still gonna be easy to know which pieces go together. But with a puzzle like that, well, with a picture like that, the cut is everything. So please enjoy puzzle, please, please, please have a good cut, because I do not want to spend 10 hours on this puzzle. But yeah, I think it's time to get on with it. Starting with the frame was definitely a good idea, because it gave me the sense of how big the puzzle is. And then also when I started moving to the dark pieces, I had the frame to go from. And funnily enough, I just didn't know what goes together. You've got some lines that go through the pieces, but there is no clear indication of what goes together. So I have to say that at this point I realized that the cut is really good and that it's quite obvious to know what goes together. After doing the dark pieces, I moved on to the light pieces, because it just made the most sense to me. And it took me a while to get it going, because there's just a lot of lines, and the lines do give you direction in which the pieces have to be turned. But it's still not an easy start. Like, once you connect some of the puzzles, it becomes a lot easier to find the next pieces. So far I would say that I did sorting quite well, because I'm kind of having all the pieces that I need with me. But the further out I go, the more difficult it's becoming. So I'm a little bit worried how much more difficult it's gonna get, but I think it should be okay. So the frame and the light pieces are done, and this actually connects. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but yeah, the top section connects, but I was just doing it freely so it was easier for me, so I didn't have to stretch over. The puzzle holds together really well. Okay, this is probably gonna crumble now because, you know, I just jinxed it, but it's just, I can lift it up and the puzzle is not even complete. So it holds together really well. I was shocked when I was doing the frame, because normally I would have to make an opening to bring the pieces in, but with this one it stays together so well that you can just lift it up and slide the pieces underneath. I hope you can see that on camera. I think you can. So far I would say that I'm really happy with the quality of the puzzle. I am a little bit worried about how much longer it's gonna still take me to finish the puzzle. It's been 2 hours now in total, including the sorting, which sorting for a 1000-piece puzzle is normally half an hour, so an hour and a half to do the frame and this middle section. I think I'm gonna be moving to all the red pieces now, the dark ones and the light ones, which should be, I think, like the dress and the umbrella. So after I do that, yeah, I honestly don't know what to expect, because My average is about, I don't know, 4 to 6 hours on a puzzle, and I have no idea how long this one is gonna take me. But I'm really pleased with the quality. Like I said, it's quite easy to know which pieces go together. The prongs are quite specific as well, which is definitely a plus, especially with this kind of picture. So I think I'm on a good way to finish on my average time, and I'm actually quite enjoying it. There's quite a few lines going across the puzzle. I think is where I'm at is those, I don't even know what they are, like tree branches, I think they are. And it just helps because when you have a line going through a piece, it just helps you know which direction the piece is gonna be turned. So I think I'm just gonna crack on with the puzzle because I wanna see how easy it's gonna be to do the dark pieces and the red pieces. Because I think, well, I know there is like some shading difference, but again, the weather is crap today, so it doesn't help with seeing the gradient, but we do have some color differences, so it should be okay, I think. I've got 4 piles. I think these 2 are gonna be easy, and then the other 4 that I've got left are gonna be left for the end because I think that's all gonna be background. But so far I'm really pleased with the quality. I know I've already said that, but the puzzle has not been frustrating, so that's always a good sign. I hope it stays that way. With the red section, I was genuinely surprised how well I did the sorting, because all of the darker pieces I kind of used up before moving to the lighter pieces, and it just made so much sense the way I did the sorting. But obviously these were the more obvious pieces, if I can say that, because the color was quite specific on them. So I was going for specific colors in each piece and then put them together. So that was really helpful. But with the rest of the pieces, they have so many different colors in them that it's really difficult to know how to sort them. So I kind of understand what people were saying when they were commenting how to sort puzzles on Puzzles Puzzle, because it can be quite confusing because out of the textures you don't really know what's the background and what's the top. So yeah, it was quite difficult to do the sorting in that sense, and I can see that I just started to get stuck. I feel like it really slowed down after I used the red pieces. And at one point I thought I'm not moving anywhere, that's why I decided to do shape sorting. But even after the sorting, the majority of the pieces are standard ribbon grit cut pieces, which is definitely not helpful because we want as many shapes as possible. It's been 4 hours in total now, and I don't think I'm even halfway through with the puzzle, so I would definitely say it's more difficult than your average 1000-piece puzzle, which was kind of expected from the picture. That's why I didn't want to do it for so long and I was just delaying it. But overall, I'm quite enjoying the puzzle. I think this bottom section wasn't too bad because there was quite a lot of black sections in the pieces as well, so it helped to find the right pieces. But now I'm at a point when I don't even know what to do. Like, I shape sorted the red and like brownish pieces, but there's quite a lot more standard ribbon grit cut pieces than the other shapes, which is not ideal because it does make it more difficult to find the right piece. Ideally, you'd have like an equal separation between the pieces, so that definitely makes the puzzle more difficult. I still have the light orange and the dark orange pieces, and then I've realized that the dress has like the orange on here, so I'm not sure if I should do the orange thing first and then try to fill in the rest of the dress. It just feels like, I don't know, everything is all over the place and I just got big empty spaces, which doesn't help because it doesn't give me the shape of the pieces. So yeah, I would definitely rate this puzzle difficult. The piece cut is good though. I'm not having any misfits or anything, and the puzzle, like I said before, holds together really well. And oh, the touch is so nice. But yeah, it is quite difficult. I hope I manage to do it in less than another 4 hours, because I just don't want to get frustrated with it. And obviously, as you can see, the sun is going down. So it's only gonna get more difficult now. Like, so far I've really been enjoying it and I just don't want it to become frustrating. So hopefully it's not gonna be too bad to continue working on the puzzle. I've got some difference in textures, and I've noticed that on the background they're like brown pieces with a lot of texture. But then again, there is so many things on top of the background that it's really difficult to know which pieces are actually background and which pieces are not background pieces. But I think I'm gonna have to figure that out. I'm gonna need a break now. No, I need to eat. I think I'm definitely gonna finish the puzzle today because I'm losing daylight anyway, so I'm in no rush. I can work on it until 11 p.m, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm gonna take it easy. I don't want to get frustrated with it, and then I'm probably gonna come back tomorrow morning because, you know, it just doesn't look good when the light is not right. Tackling the last part of the puzzle was definitely the hardest, because I was honestly expecting that it's gonna be a little bit easier after all, because people did say that the pieces are quite specific and the shapes of the prongs are very specific. But when you have nothing to go from, you've got no section, it's just one big open space, and the only two things that you can see is one prong in and one prong out. That's basically any shape of the piece, and that doesn't narrow it down, so it was quite difficult to know. I didn't know where to check, so I was kind of constantly working with standard shaped pieces because there were the most of them, and I thought that it's probably more chance that it's going to be one of them than one of the specific ones. So for me personally, I found this puzzle quite difficult, and I think there could be ways to make it a bit easier, maybe just to make some specific color changes in between to know that this section goes together, just to close the open space down a little bit. But overall, in terms of the painting itself, it's just so beautiful that I wouldn't want to change anything. That's always the case when you turn art into puzzles. It's gonna look amazing when it's done. It's not gonna be easy to puzzle necessarily though. I have also realized, even though it was quite towards the end, but that there is a difference between, you know, the horizontal and vertical pieces, which helped a lot. Obviously, I didn't get all of them right, so sometimes I was looking in the section where they were supposed to be, couldn't find it, and it was in the wrong section because they were too close to know which one's what. But I think the majority of the pieces I got them right, which really lowered the puzzling time for me. But nonetheless, I'm very happy that I picked this picture. We are back the next morning, and you can see what great sunlight I have today, which is going to be perfect for doing the 5K puzzle because I'm going to start doing it as soon as I finish recording this. But I managed to finish the puzzle in 6 hours and 40 minutes, which I think is quite a good time based on how difficult the image is. But oh my god, I kept stroking it in between. It feels so nice. I've never touched a puzzle like that. Oh god, this came out really wrong, but it's got such a nice feel and it holds together really well. I took pictures, you don't have to worry, it's all, you know, done. So even if it falls apart, but you can see it stays together really well, you know. Oh god, I just love it. And I actually didn't think I'm gonna like it that much, but now I started to think where I can put it in my flat. And I don't really have that many walls, you know. I mean, I do have walls, but it's just the places where I could put it to fit, you know. So, I'm thinking kitchen, because the colors match. I don't know, I need to think about it, but I'm gonna put puzzles in there as well. But I'm still thinking what to put there. And my dad and I already measured with laser the puzzles that I'm gonna put above my sofa. So yeah, I just wanna have puzzles around my flat. Why not? I've got nothing on the walls right now except clocks. So yeah, okay, enough about that. Let's talk about the puzzle. So I've really, really, really enjoyed this puzzle. It's actually, I mean, it was a little bit frustrating, I'm not gonna lie, when I came to like these last sections where you don't know what the background is, you don't know what the leaves are, you don't know anything. And really one thing that really helped me was just following the veins. And that was like the only thing that was kind of helpful, because you just needed to see if there's like a breakage point, and it's like, oh, you need the vein to go through, you know, the prong or something. And then you were looking for the prong that's got the vein coming in. So in that sense, it was quite difficult. I mean, it took me longer than average to finish the puzzle, but it was still very enjoyable, and I just love the end product. Honestly, it's so pretty and it feels so good on the touch. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be putting that somewhere. I don't want to let this one go. I didn't like, I get it now why people like enjoy puzzles so much, but I think with this one it's the feel, it's the fit, it's also the picture itself. I just love everything about it. So I'm really happy that you guys kind of pushed me to get an enjoy puzzle and now to do it finally, because I was avoiding doing it because it was just, it seemed quite difficult to me, but I'm really happy that I did it now. And it's good that I did it before going to Spain, because when we go to Spain again, they've got more enjoy puzzles. So I can get more, you know. But yeah, yeah, it just made me really happy. And now I've had so much yellow and red, and you know, it's gonna be a nice transition to go working on the 5K puzzle, which is all green, whatever's left. So I hope you enjoyed this little review, and maybe it's gonna help you when you decide if you wanna get an enjoy puzzle. I know that they're on a more expensive side, but you don't have to get plenty. You just get one, try it out, and then you decide if you want to get any more after that. But I just really like, it's just the touch. Like, I don't know if it's visible in time lapse, obviously, because I haven't watched it yet, but I just keep rubbing the pieces because it's so soft. It's like velvety touch. So I really like it. Okay, so that's gonna be it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye!